Hello everybody, welcome back to Bella Mass channel. This is Bridget advocating for the orphans and telling my story. If you like what I'm about, please like, share and subscribe. That helps with the growth of the channel. So the episode starts with Anne running on the halls to be with other students. So welcome back to another episode of Bella Mash. In today's episode, we are discussing N with an E season 3 episode 1. N with an E season 3 episode 1. Great and sudden change. That's the title of the episode. So stay tuned. I'm in love with Gilbert Blythe. So proclaims N at episode's end. Why and how does N get to this realization? I'll get to that in my recap. Before I start my recap, I've come to the realization that Moira Wally-Beckett is deviating from the N books completely to create her own world. I'm not 100% sure I'm on board with this. N's realization of love for Gilbert is one deviation that I don't really like. One of the things that I love about the books and the 1985 miniseries and its sequel is that N is totally oblivious or in denial about her feelings for Gilbert. I love that Gilbert is totally in love with Anne and he thinks that her feelings are unequated. In this episode, there is a little bit of that. I think that this is a good starting point of our recap. The students of Avonlea come to the schoolhouse to study for the Queen's College entrance exam only to find that the schoolhouse burned down and the printing press gone. Everyone is livid and they pretty much know who is responsible, the men of the school board. Anne storms off to confront Rachel Lynde because she is on the school board. However, Anne soon realizes that Miss Lynde had no clue and she too is horrified at what happened. This makes Miss Lynde to confront the school board and blackmails them to get equal amount of women on the board or else she will reveal that the men burned down the school and took away the printing press to spite children. The board agrees and one of the new women on the board is Marilla. But the kids and Miss Stacy can't let them distract them, so they head to Miss Stacy's house for their study session. It is there that Anne and Gilbert connect even further. But you know who is not connecting? Diana and Jerry. Diana essentially breaks up with Jerry, saying they are just too different, but Jerry thinks it is because he isn't good enough for her and that she is ashamed to be with him. Diana stays silent, which speaks volume to Jerry. Diana and Anne are also not speaking as their friendship seems more fractured than ever. Before I continue what happens to the poor students of Avonlea and the Queen's College entrance exam, I want to pause and talk about the other storyline that was happening. At the top of the episode, we see Kakwet make a perilous escape from the residential school. Kakwet is resourceful as she escapes and manages to survive as she makes her way back to her Micmac and her family. Kakwet collapses in tears as her mother and father embrace and comfort her. I'm not sure what is going to happen to Kakwet, but I am hoping that she is safe with her family and that she won't be forced to go back to the residential school. However, reading that next week's episode is about Anne and Mathew helping Kakwet, I'm not hopeful. Now the time has come for the kids to take the exam. Everyone is nervous, especially Moody and Charlie. There is a surprise student taking the exam, Diana. Auntie Jo encourages Diana to take the exam and live the life she wants and not what her parents want. So Diana has to sneak off to take the exam. Once the exam is over, all of the kids celebrate with moonshine and really party it up. Meanwhile, Gilbert, who has taken the exam in Charlottetown, is dining with Winifred and her family. Winifred's dad approves of Gilbert and even offers to fund his medical degree at Sorbonne if he proposes to his daughter. We don't see how Gilbert responds, but we see him return to Avonlea and comes across his fellow classmates still celebrating. Gilbert sees Anne make pirate jokes and just being here and free. Gilbert definitely takes notice and wants to speak to Anne alone. Gilbert lays out the choice between him and asks Anne what to do. Anne doesn't understand what is Gilbert's dilemma. Anne doesn't understand what is holding him back, but Gilbert says there is one thing and that is her. Gilbert needs to know how Anne feels about him, but she is speechless. Anne pretty much tells Gilbert that his only option is Winifred as Gilbert gets the education he wants and the girl that is much more suited to him than her. Before any more can happen, the other girls interrupt wanting Anne to do one of her rituals. Next morning, Anne seeks Aunt Jo's advice and admits that Gilbert is the only person that she has thought of in a romantic way. But Anne still doesn't see how it will work out for them and still is unsure of her feelings. Aunt Jo says that she will gain clarity to her feelings at a moment of peace in her mind. Gilbert also has come to realization in that he is going to propose to Winfred. Besh asks if Gilbert is sure because he knows that his friend is in love with Anne. Gilbert assures Besh that he is sure, but we know that he isn't. Back to Diana, who finally comes to realization that she isn't living the life she wants to live after Minnie May tells her that she doesn't want to be like her big sister. Diana rushes over to Green Gables and apologizes to Anne. The two best friends renew their friendship and all is well with the two. As the two just sit in silence after their renewed friendship is when Anne makes the declaration that she is in love with Gilbert. Elsewhere in Avonlea, Besh's mom comes to visit and brings out the worst in him. Once Besh's mom arrives at the Blythe homestead, she seems to think she is a servant in the household and not a member of the family. Besh's mom also tries to get him to make that separate with Gilbert, and it seems the show is setting up Miss Stacy and Besh as a potential romantic pairing. And this is the end of this episode. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. That helps with the growth of the channel. Also, I'm really grateful for the 1000 subscribers. That means a lot to me. Please continue supporting by watching my videos throughout to the end because my watch hours are still very few and we haven't been monetized yet. So please watch to the end all of my videos. So stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you and bye. Bye bye.